But it is a pleasure to be here today to discuss many of the issues that will define Massachusetts' future, as well as the strategies that have helped us climb out of the recession to ignite an upward economic trajectory. Before I go on further, I also want to sincerely congratulate the unbelievable winners of today's awards and how impressive, from just Ann McKee and Morgan Memorial, the folks at General Electric, and Nuance Communications. Congratulations to all of you, especially to Nuance. I don't know if I can speak to my phone and tell them to get rid of all criticism or anything else like that, amongst other things, by the way, but that would be a good start. Late last year, when we celebrated AIM's 100th anniversary, I had the opportunity to thank this organization under the great leadership of Rick Lord for their considerable contributions to the Commonwealth. Today, I want to talk about how these contributions are affecting the Massachusetts economy and how we can build upon them. The last time I keynoted this event was in 2009. I'm proud to say that in the past 7 years, we have overcome adversity and set forth a foundation for sustainable recovery. I believe that a significant part of the Massachusetts success is due to the relationships between businesses and groups like AIM and the legislature. The House has a reputation as a consensus builders. That's something that we're very proud of, and it is something we pursue because, in short, I believe it is very effective. Indeed, I believe on the focus on compromise and collaboration is what makes our great state a national leader in so many different regards. In the House, we embrace our legacy of creating workable, practical solutions. Our goal is to create a sustainable legislation that will result in positive long-term consequences. From workforce training to economic development bills that focus on diverse regions and industries, to education, to our nationally heralded gun safety legislation, we are known for pairing bold ideas with commitment to collaboration. And in that way, I believe that we share many similarities, values, and objectives with the companies in this room. The House puts a premium on building strong relationships with businesses and sincerely values the feedback of the business community as we craft legislation. We have done that over the years with issues like the minimum wage and taxes, and we continue to do that with issues like energy. I've heard firsthand that elected officials in other states often take for granted the positive impact that businesses can have on communities. But in Massachusetts, we know that this impact is amplified when the legislature is supportive of businesses' efforts. I'm not only talking about job creation, of course that's a huge part of the equation, but I'm also speaking about partnering with institutions of higher education, workforce training programs, and nonprofits. I often say that weaving together diverse sectors of our economy together and supporting workers of all skill sets is crucial to Massachusetts' continued success and national leadership. AIM has long recognized this and has been a leader in promoting business development that lifts up all regions of the Commonwealth, all workers of the Commonwealth, and all sectors of the Commonwealth. Like many of us here, AIM is driven by a belief that in Massachusetts, we have no greater asset than our residents. Our economic legacy, one of innovation, one of brain power and one of an industrious spirit, will help foster ongoing prosperity in our dynamic economy. For the past two years, extending the circle of economic prosperity from Boston to other corners of the Commonwealth has been a chief priority of the House. I'm proud to say that through the various economic development bills, trips around the state, and recently launched initiative called the Bay State Business Link, we are making gains. Importantly, we're fostering connections teeming with opportunity. We're also learning about the challenges that lie under the surface and pending growth. While there's no quick silver bullet to regional parity, and it won't be a quick fix, the House will remain committed to this crucial effort. I was encouraged to learn about AIM's recent commitment to address a problem that I like to call a tale of two commonwealths. All of us need to work together to help improve economic conditions across the state. I have especially found this to be true in my role as Speaker, wherein as I'm in the greater Boston area, and then I may travel out to Springfield and further west into the Berkshires, or in the South Coast in New Bedford and Fall River and Taunton, and I hear much different stories about how the economy may be going in those particular regions. In the greater Boston area, I hear a tale of low unemployment, real estate booming, businesses, great businesses coming into the city. But as I travel elsewhere, that single-digit unemployment becomes double-digit unemployment. And quite frankly, the economic conditions aren't quite the same as what we see here in the greater Boston area. Again, I was particularly pleased to see that AIM is considering the idea of a trade mission in Massachusetts to help members of the Greater Boston's innovation team talk partners in other parts of the state. This goal dovetails very nicely with the House initiative we are working on, the Bay State Business Link, along with the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce under the leadership of Jim Rooney, Mass MEP, Mass Challenge in the Western Mass Economic Development Council under the leadership of former Secretary Rick Sullivan, among others. The Bay State Business Link is intended to serve B2B collaboration across all regions of the Commonwealth and identify opportunities for small and new businesses to connect with some of the more well-established Boston-based companies. We also want to translate the Commonwealth's success in the innovation economy to rebuild our historically strong industries, like manufacturing, in an effort to provide jobs to individuals of all skill sets. I know that many people in this room share in these objectives and could bring fresh perspectives to the table. And please know, as Andrew had mentioned, that my door is always open. We, as a matter of fact, have an event in Springfield a week from today on May 20th. We welcome your participation. By working together, we can make Massachusetts a stronger place for businesses across this state. And again, should you have any questions or inquiries, please don't hesitate to call my office. I was also pleased to see that AIM's Blueprint for the Next Century suggests elevating the role of vocational technical schools and goes on to discuss the importance of community colleges, something which has been a focus of mine for many years. As a matter of fact, since my days back as chair of the Committee on Ways and Means. I often found, or first found at that time, that I didn't believe that our community colleges were probably being used enough, shall I say. That there are some students that probably need that extra 2 years if they are going to attain the jobs of tomorrow, but I should probably say the jobs of today in many instances. That was my vision of our community colleges, to give some of those students beyond high school that extra boost with those 2 years of community college, and in some cases, actually in many cases, now the 4-year institutions that many graduates of the community colleges are able to obtain. The House has long recognized the importance of providing targeted educational opportunities through institutional like VOTEC schools and community colleges to create pathways that fit the needs of both our students and, most importantly, our economy. Under Massachusetts law, it is a paramount goal of the Commonwealth to provide a public education system of sufficient quality to extend to all children. Students of all backgrounds should be given the opportunity to succeed through the type of educational programming that is right for them. Supporting a wide range of education and workforce development opportunities is not only a smart long-term investment, it is how we can do right by our younger residents. By continuing to fund targeted and inventive programs that promote lifelong learning skills necessary for students to succeed in the 21st century workplace, like the Intern Partnership, the STEM Starter Academy, and the Middle Skills Job Training Grant Fund, we are doing just that right here in Massachusetts. We cannot do it alone, and those of you here today clearly recognize that. It is evident that by the vital role that you have played in our Community College Workforce Development Fund partnerships, that you are a vital partner in that regard. Your continued support for providing learning opportunities that allow our community college students to thrive deserves to be lauded, and I sincerely thank you for your ongoing collaboration in these efforts. They are truly, that's okay, yeah. They are truly making a difference in the lives of students. The legislature has worked and will continue to work to bolster institutions that create pathways to fulfilling futures for individuals of all backgrounds. In a New York Times article this week, large companies, including J.P. Morgan Chase, noted the increasing importance of educating students in a way that will develop a diverse workforce. The piece highlighted the Medford Vocational School, stating that vocational schools should no longer be thought of as dead ends, since they can serve as stepping stones to associate degrees at community colleges or to enrollment at 4-year institutions. We are proud that these worthy institutions and thank their local business partners who similarly recognize the importance of providing students with customized career pathway programming that will enable each and every one of them to succeed beyond the classroom. The House approach to economic development recognized the reality that businesses are the most important generator of jobs. In order to facilitate that, the House puts a premium on fiscal prudence. That effort, I believe, is reaping results. In 2016 state business tax climate, Massachusetts came in at number 25, better than competitive states such as Connecticut, California, New York, and New Jersey, and even better than other states like North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. That's a significant departure from what I consider to be our out-of-date moniker, where we were called Taxachusetts. The budget that the House passed last week came in a bit below the governor's proposal and contains no new taxes and no new fees. For me, revenue options are always the last resort. And I am proud to say that even during some very difficult economic times, we've shown great restraint relative to tax increases. We've also successfully maintained our AA bond rating, and for a second consecutive year, the House made no draws from our rainy day fund in the recent budget. And I sincerely want to thank for his efforts in that regard. Thank you. And I want to sincerely thank our Chairman of Ways and Means, Brian Dempsey, for making sure that that was done. Both measures, I believe, reflect the stability and predictability of the Commonwealth's government, something folks from outside our state have recognized. Businesses, national elected officials, and bond rating agencies have also mentioned how Massachusetts' ability to get things done and work together makes our state an incredibly attractive place. And I think that this was further verified from the discussion from the folks from GE here earlier given today. One of the companies represented here today recently described Massachusetts as a political union, meaning that we're unique because we put politics aside so that we can find effective and workable solutions. That's something I'm extremely proud of. I'm also proud of the House's commitment to bring all sides to the table to craft legislation that serves the Commonwealth the best. As many of you are aware, we are in the midst of preparing legislation that we hope will bring stability to energy costs. Like we have with past bills, the House will engage in a thorough process, one that relies upon gleaning the perspectives of all sides in a multitude of constituencies. We are, folks, at a unique moment in time when significant changes are occurring in how we power our homes and businesses, and we are keenly aware of the burden that energy costs place on our taxpayers and businesses. Whenever I meet with businesses across this great Commonwealth, one thing that I always hear about is energy and its cost. The legislation currently being worked on by Chairman Golden will promote resource diversity and cleaner energy, contain costs, and ensure that we maintain a reliable electric grid. So I ask you, Chairman Golden is here today. Should you have any complaints, please bring them to Chairman Golden and not me. I greatly appreciate that. If you have any health care complaints, Chairman Sanchez is here as well. Talk to him. But to provide a significant amount of energy at reasonable prices, our legislation will create a competitive procurement process to allow hydroelectricity, offshore wind, and other renewable energy sources to play a greater role in the region's energy mix. I am confident that the House plan will include an important role, as I stated, for hydroelectricity, a low-emission, renewable, and reliable source of energy. Given our variety of goals, hydro will not be the only approach. Central to our plans is competition. energy providers will have to compete to participate. We believe that competition among developers will help keep costs low. Providers will also be required to show the cost benefits, feasibility, economic development potential, and reliability impacts of their plan. I believe that by fostering healthy competition, having people come to the table and demonstrate the value of their proposals, we will encourage diversity. It will help to replace the energy infrastructure currently scheduled to go offline, while allowing ample room for the marketplace to fill additional needs that this region may require. As I was putting the finishing touches on this speech earlier this week, a headline splashed across social media, which many times concerns me greatly. But unlike many such viral items, this one was positive, and it was about the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. There was a study done under the auspices of the United States Chamber of Commerce and found that Massachusetts was the #1 place for innovation in America. Beating out such regions as New York City and the Bay Area in California. Over the next months, folks, by the way, if you should hear me speak, you're going to hear that quote over and over again. And plus, I also wanted to thank that nice quote from the Boston Globe. I thank you for finding that. Thank you very much. But this is a huge validator for everything that we do, that we are going to do to promote the innovation economy, specifically in business in general. But more than this, the words that this group used in introducing its report, I believe, matter as well. It began, "Yesterday's expertise will not guarantee tomorrow's economic wins." That sentence, I believe, sums up what I believe is great about Massachusetts and really articulates our approach to jobs and economic development. It is crucial and most important that we take and stay one step ahead of change. Each of the areas that I outlined here today are vital to our mission to remain on the cutting edge. With your partnership, I believe that we will build on this success. Thank you for your attention here this afternoon.